All right, so now we get to meet the judges. So please join me in welcoming our judges to the stage. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you. Hey, Dom. Thank you. Okay, so it's you have spent a lot of time with us, helping us think through all of these submissions that I spoke about. I know that as you evaluated the submissions and ultimately came up with the winners, we spent some time, all of us together, thinking about visual design, functionality, integration, and the overall experience. I'd love to start, Beth, with you. As you think about that, what in your opinion set the winners apart in the overall submissions that we saw?
Well, for me, I look at the sites really from a marketing perspective because that's my background. And first of all, congratulations to all of the finalists because it was a really hard judging process. You've been doing some great work, so congratulations on that. But for me, the winning sites they all had really great calls to action and brand missions. Everything was very clean and clear what you should be doing when you got to the site. Among the winners, there was a lot of terrific B2B and B2C brands, and one thing they all had in common was that the sites were very easy to navigate. And that's it's a simple, basic thing, but it can't be forgotten because we've all had the experience of going to a website and trying to find something that you should be able to find in 30 seconds, and 10 minutes later, you leave the site, you're frustrated not only with the site, but with the brand itself, and that's a horrible experience for any brand. And I think all the sites, in common, they were just, really good sites and easy to navigate and easy to get through, and they had high functionality. And high functionality, it sounds like it's not a huge compliment, but I think it really is because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Got it. Dom, maybe you can share your thoughts on that as well? Which one to go there?
You brought your beer on stage. Smart man.
We got like a 4-hour meeting to decide the winners. We needed one of these after, during.
That's true.
So what separated the shitty websites from the good ones? Let's see. No, I mean, what Beth was saying, it mainly came down to at the end, we're like, who wins? They're all so good.
Yeah.
We had to find one determining factor, and Laura will get more into that. But for me, the big deal was search and commerce. I mean, it's an Amazon and Google world. Yeah. Have great search. When I went into the websites, I pretended I was a user and trying to find something, trying to buy something, trying to, check out, trying to do something like that, some functionality thing. And for me, I was a sucker for search and commerce. If it was easy, if I could check out easily, you were a winner in my book. I think we're way past the time of pretty and beautiful images. It's important, but no one leaves a website saying, wow, that was. Did you see that red call to action button over the blue one? That was great. No one does that. They just want to be in and out, especially some of these tough areas like healthcare, health insurance. Dude, you want to be in and out of there in 20 seconds, and find what you need. So functionality, I agree, Beth, was a big thing for me.
Awesome. So Laura, as we think into next year, and we had a lot of people that were engaged for the first time. We saw that earlier with a raise of hands. But what tips would you give everybody here thinking about a submission for 2018?
Well, one of the things I said when we did the first year was how there were some that had great essays and some that were they weren't really saying much. And I said, the one thing that I would love is better essays, which everybody listened to because this year there were so many fantastic essays which made our job that much harder. And when we're kind of fighting for winners, we'll go to the essays. And for me, it's really hearing the story of the strategy. So the business goals and how you kind of came about that. But then also there were the great ones that talked about the integration, why Acquia was the best choice and here's how we used it and that kind of stuff. So it's like what Connor had said, I could talk about this for days and sort of what sets people apart, but it's really seeing a strategy and he can be swayed by search, which we're kind of learning each other's, the things that we like. I can be really swayed by the details. So if I see that there's a certain industry, and I know like the business strategy of that industry, and if there's those little things that show that they've really spent a lot of time researching and really knowing their audience, that will really sway me as well.
Cool. Well, look, I know that we had 17 categories, and I think that the goal is to continue to look for ways to expand those. The written submissions, the essays that you talk about, are really essential because sometimes these are intranets or extranets that we can't see. So it's important to get the submission because otherwise, unless we have a login, we can't get to those. I guess any other thoughts any of you want to share as you look at this experience? Any other final thoughts and ideas and tips to share with the audience?
You know, share your crappy websites.
Yeah.
The ones that got you to this place, right? The ones
The
that
befores.
made you have the meetings and say, we got to change stuff.
So a before and an after.
It would be huge
Yeah.
to do that compare. Where were they coming from and how much did they improve?
Got it.
Because we'll see some beautiful websites, but then we don't know what the one before it was like. You know, how much have they changed? How much have they... And also the ones, to go back to the essays, the one that can show the tangible results. So if people wanted more engagement, you can show higher engagement. So we see there was a strategy put in place, the project was completed, and those goals are being met. It's great to see that as well.
Right.
Don't
And-
lock us out either, right?
Yes.
If we couldn't get in, we couldn't judge
Yeah.
it.
Give us the passwords and show us your return on investment. How are you justifying to your C-suite all of this money that you've spent on this pretty new website?
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, judges, very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.